Hey Talkos, I have a question for you. What happens after you die? Metempsychosis, also known as the transmigration of souls, is the belief that after death, the soul of the newly deceased will pass over into another body, either human or animal. This idea of metempsychosis originated in Egypt thousands of years ago and is still accepted by many Eastern cultures today. Perhaps these mummy makers possess some knowledge absent from the modern man's funerations. I say this because the burial practices of Egyptian pharaohs differs completely from any other out there. So, just maybe they actually knew the secret of allowing the soul to transmigrate into another vessel. If so, then it can certainly explain tonight's killer, who takes all of his commands entirely from an ancient Egyptian snake god. Those commands are quite simple. Kill, kill, kill.
Our hint was Pharaoh.
I think it's good.
Yeah, it's not bad. So this is called the Pharaoh Cooler, and it is tequila, watermelon juice, lime juice, and I used raspberry lime seltzer water as well.
I like it because it's not too sweet.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Mm-hmm. Refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got pretty drunk on the last episode.
Yeah, I apologize. Like, real drunk.
It's okay. I did edit the video.
All right, so tonight the hint is Pharaoh.
Mm-hmm.
So, Nicole, where are we going? Who are we killing tonight?
Well, I feel like Egypt is the obvious choice, so I'm not going to pick that. I think we're going to, like, caves in Kentucky, and we find a body that is mummified like a king.
You know, when I went to Gatlinburg for my first hurricane, we did go to the caves there, and it was really cool, except I hit my head.
The cave was not suitable for Jen.
It was not. It was too short for me. They even say careful, low ceilings, but like I can't do anything about my height. Sorry. I can't do anything about the fact that I'm like accident prone either. So, I mean, I guess
that's a bad combination. Yeah. Was it one of those caves that where it's like has like the spikes going down? I feel like you just like impale yourself.
Yeah, I would. My guess is actually I think we're gonna go to Las Vegas. To like that, like don't they have like
the
that pyramid?
pyramids
Yeah, the pyramid, or they
Strip?
have like the Sphinx.
Oh yeah.
The Sphinx
well,
over
I've never
there.
been to Vegas,
Me
but
either.
I've seen the pictures.
I want to go. They're supposed to have the school counseling conference there this year.
I do not want to go. That is a huge mistake to have like any conference in Las Vegas. That is an HR nightmare.
I just hope that it like everything is back to normal by then, so that I can go. And I also hope that Lady Gaga is doing her residency still there, so that I can go see her.
When is it at?
I don't remember.
Like 2021 though?
Yeah, in 2021. So probably not, but that's okay.
I mean, they may just postpone it. Vegas is a popular spot, so they may do it the same location.
Yeah, but you know,
our one rule for conferences is to not have it in Vegas.
Oh, that's a good rule.
Yeah, I feel
Wait,
like
what was your guess?
Las Vegas.
Las
okay.
Vegas.
It was relevant.
I blacked out for a second. Yeah.
Disassociated. Yeah, I've realized that when I was watching the video that sometimes, like, when I start talking, John's brain just takes a break and he just, like, you can see him literally zoning out. And I'm like, he's not listening to what I'm saying. And then, like, I'll stop talking. And about half a second later, he'll be like, oh, okay, she's done talking. I can pay attention now.
I do not do that.
You do.
I do
You
not.
do it to me too.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Jen also needs to take a secondary shot this evening.
Oh, okay, go
as
ahead.
promised by our fans.
Oh,
Do a surprise shot first.
yeah, go ahead.
Surprise shots. Surprise shots. We don't know what they are because they're a surprise. I still don't know where my bongos are, but I didn't look this week, to be honest. Sorry. Ooh, crown apple.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I also found some shot glasses, like in the studio, in the closet. So I had like thrown them when on the last episode when we were drunk.
Yep.
We don't have that many shot glasses. You found 3?
I found 2. We took a shot. We took a lot of shots.
We
and
took
then
a lot
I took
of
a shot
shots.
and I just tossed the shot glass.
There was at one point during the video where Nicole's like, "Did you just throw that shot glass?" And I thought she was talking to me. But
I was like, shh, and I found it in the closet. I was like, whoa, that's where that was.
it was a fun time though.
There were some lovely surprises. There was the screen door that we rediscovered later.
Okay,
there were
enough.
just some funny things. Anyway,
We walked to Harris Teeter and Jen and I, and we found a bicycle.
Yes. And then we threw it in
You
the
have the
woods
video
again.
of that?
Yeah, I do. It's on TikTok.
Dude, send that to me. You put it on TikToker?
Not
What the shit?
TikToker.
It's on TikToking? Tonight I have a story that I've been wanting to do for a long time since we've started this podcast, and I've never really got around to doing it. I don't know. I just really wanted to cover this because it's pretty dang interesting. He's a spree killer.
Okay.
And it's brutal and it's recent, so that's not interesting. But the guy
So that's
himself
not interesting.
is interesting, so I wanted to talk about him. And so tonight we are going to Warren Buffett country, Omaha, Nebraska. So tonight we are doing the Nikko Jenkins story. And if you're new here, this is your first time listening to us, especially go to talkmurder.com. I'm putting all the photos on there. You definitely want to see this guy. 100% want to see this guy.
Nikko Jenkins.
Nikko Jenkins.
Nikko Jenkins.
Nikko Jenkins. Nikko Jenkins. Nikko Jenkins.
Nikko Jenkins. The name does sound familiar.
Nikko Jenkins.
Who?
Nikko Jenkins.
That was quite the montage.
Yes.
Yep.
I want a montage like that for my name.
All right, let's get started. Nicole, can you read this? This is from the Nebraska Herald. Like I say, we are going to Omaha, Nebraska. This is 2:15 a.m., August 21st, 2013. 2:15 a.m. Wednesday on 168th Street, just south of 4th Street. And I had the Google map on talkmurder.com, so be sure to go there if you want to see that. But if you can read this, Nicole.
Recent killings noted for oddity, savagery. Andrea Kruger, a mother of 3, never made it home from her work as a bartender. She was found shot to death in a suburban Omaha intersection. Her vehicle apparently stolen.
All right, so this is the vehicle crime scene right here. That's her SUV.
Mm-hmm.
The person, Nikko Jenkins, and his gang really liked this SUV for some reason, which is the reason he wanted to carjack it and steal it. Now,
Is that a Jeep?
no, it's a Chevrolet.
Equinox?
Yeah, Equinox.
Oh yeah, those are the Chevy.
Like little
SUVs.
SUVs.
So it's I wouldn't even call it an SUV. It's more
No,
like
it's
a
a
crossover.
SUV.
It's like a
Yeah.
It's like the size of my car.
Yeah, like a not a hatchback SUV or something. This is really tragic. All 4 of these victims tonight are really tragic, but I'm really going to go into this last murder. Andrea Kruger is her name. She is a mother of 3. That's her right there. And
Looks like quite the happy family.
very happy family. They actually just got back from a vacation. I don't know where, but it looked like Bahamas or something. And,
Well, sure, I'd go anywhere probably if you lived in Nebraska.
so she,
I mean, not to down Nebraska. I've never been, but
I would want a beach.
yeah.
so this isn't where the crime happened. This is where the car ended up.
Where they like dumped it.
Yeah, where they dumped the car. But Nikko Jenkins and his uncle, and there
His uncle is part of his gang?
yeah. They pull her, his uncle pulls her out of the car. She's begging for her life, probably saying stuff like, I got 3 kids, yada, yada, yada. She's
Yeah.
a bartender, and that's why she's coming home at 2:15 a.m. She's begging for her life on her knees. She gets shot 4 times, and she's
Jeez.
dead. She's a 33-year-old mother of 3. She worked at On the Rocks, which is the bar she worked at for 8 years. And if you guys don't mind, I want to flip through her Facebook so you can kind of get a better idea who she is. This is right before it happened in 2013. Just one of her, her and
she
her
getting
kids.
manicures with her daughter.
Yeah. Mother of 3. If you go through her Facebook, you can see that she just got back from a vacation with her husband. They're obviously very much in love. What you're looking at right here is from the bar that she worked at in memory of Andrea. They did a fundraiser for her. It says Andrea was a former employee of ours at On the Rocks for almost 8 years. She was tragically taken from this world on August 21st, 2013. In her memory, we are trying to raise money to help her husband, Michael Ryan, and her 3 beautiful children, Jaden, Ava, and Hartley, during this difficult time. And I don't think they're still taking money there, but you can definitely support the family. I'm pretty positive, even though I didn't look, that there's some kind of GoFundMe or something. But this is the second man. So it wasn't just Nikko Jenkins, the guy we're talking about, that did the crime. This is actually his uncle, and they actually look a lot alike.
Interesting.
Second man arrested in slaying. Warren J. Levering, 51, was arrested on the Winnebago Indian Reservation. The sheriff's office had issued an arrest warrant for Levering a day earlier.
This is from the State versus Nikko Jenkins. I'll read this. On August 21st, 2013, Andrea Kruger was found shot to death near 168th and 4th Street in Omaha. Jenkins, Warren Levering, Erica Jenkins, so his sister, Nikko Jenkins' sister, and Christine Bordeaux were in a vehicle and planned to commit robbery, and were in a vehicle and planned on... Oh, they have it misspelled. That's why.
Am I seeing things?
It says,
the worst.
It says, and planned on commit a robbery at a concert. So they were actually waiting for the perfect opportunity. It was Lil Wayne. He was playing in Omaha, and they were actually waiting for concert goers. Even though she wasn't a concert goer, she was actually working. They were looking to steal an SUV so as not to use their own friend's vehicle in their planned robbery. Kruger was driving her SUV home from work at approximately 1:30 a.m. While she was stopped at a traffic signal, she was forcibly removed from her car by Jenkins. Jenkins is reported to have shot and killed her. Jenkins and Levering, his uncle, then took the SUV and drove away. The vehicle was later recovered. They arrested Jenkins soon after, and under his bed they found 2 firearms, which he's a convicted felon that just got out of prison, which we're going to talk about. Under his bed they found a Remington Model Express Magnum Pump 12-gauge shotgun and a High Point Carbine Model 995 rifle, which are these 2 right here.
Ooh.
Yeah, the High Point Carbine model is it's a 9mm, which I didn't realize that. It looks bigger, but
Yeah, it does look like a big gun.
yeah, it does, but it shoots 9mm rounds. So he was arrested, and they found these. He had these 2 guns, which, that one right there, the Remington pump shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Jen, if you've ever watched The Wire, but the guy Omar, he's a stick-up man. So what he does is he'll wait for the drug dealers to make their transaction, and then he'll go stick up the drug dealers. And that's a real thing, because I was watching this...
the best character ever.
I was watching Drugs, Inc., and... there's a real thing. These guys really do that.
That's
it's kinda,
quite risky.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of the ocean, right? You have the shark that eats all the fish, but then you have these little plankton that eat the fish remains, I don't know. That was not even
No, it makes
close.
sense.
Yeah. So that's what he was doing. This was August 21st when she got shot at 2:15 a.m.
And she's the last victim.
She's the last victim. Mm-hmm. He was released, Nikko Jenkins was released from prison on July 30th.
Oh.
So not even two and a half weeks.
What was he in jail before for?
He served 9 years of an 18 to 21 year sentence for assaulting a peace officer.
Ooh.
Let me say that again. I don't think you guys understood it. He was released from prison after he served 9 years of an 18 to 21 year sentence.
Did he get out for
So
good
he was
behavior?
a minor
He
when
did not get out for good behavior.
Oh,
Did he get
wait,
out
did he
because-
escape?
He did not get out because he was a minor. He did not escape. No, he got let out.
Because the prison was overcrowded?
No, and no
Because it was
COVID.
a day pass?
No, and you
No
know,
COVID.
Yeah, no COVID. Even though there was one serial killer, the Yorkshire Ripper, that just died of COVID-19.
Really?
Yeah. All right. Here's how it works in Canada. Oops, I meant Nebraska.
Oh, Burn! Ouch.
If you're a criminal, a felon, like he was.
You want to commit the crime in
No.
Canada,
No. If you,
Yes.
you want to commit it in Nebraska,
too.
you want to kill someone in Nebraska or do whatever, because
We've learned you don't want to do it in Florida.
whatever
Or South Carolina.
whatever sentence you have, whatever crime you did, if you get 50 years,
Yeah.
you will only serve 25, because every day you're in prison counts as a day
Time served.
off. Not time served, because that's like before you go into prison, but it's like it's like you give them one and they give you one back.
Wait, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to repeat that.
It's like
I don't think it's gonna make
it's
sense
like
the
your
second
401k when your company matches it. You know, they match it or whatever.
But say it one more time. That part I get.
So if you get 50-year sentence and every day you're in there that you don't do
Serve.
something horrible, which apparently I looked it up, there's really nothing you can do to get out of this
So
program.
if you are keeping your head down and you serve, you've got a 20-year sentence and you serve 10.
Well, he had a lot of write-ups in prison, so but yeah,
you serve 10 with no issues, you get out in 10.
exactly. Basically, if you don't kill a guard or the warden, you get out in
I
half the
feel
time.
like that's not how sentencing
That's how they
should
do
work.
it in Nebraska. I don't know. It's the first I've heard of it.
Like
It's like a perfect place to commit
not
a
double
crime,
jeopardy,
dude.
but it's like, oh yeah, it
It's
is.
half Jeopardy.
If you're gonna,
The 401k match is a
Yeah.
good way of putting it.
but the crazy thing about this is you're about to see this guy. He killed 4 people 2 weeks after he got out, and I don't even talk about it. Anyway, this is Nikko Jenkins. This is the reason why I wanted to do this story initially. And go to talkmurder.com because you have to see this guy. He is a very interesting character.
Has Nebraska revisited their laws?
Oh.
Oh dear. You know what that first reaction looks like? It looks like the zeros and the ones
like
from
binary?
the Matrix
The binary
screen are
code?
coming down his face on the side there.
He's actually got 666, well, not on this picture, but 666 tattooed on his forehead. One of these big news stations pointed it out. It's upside down because he did it himself, so it's 999.
999.
It's like that, 999 in Britain.
yeah.
Down 999.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
So be sure to go to talkmurder.com or look at our YouTube video. That's what he looks like right there. Here's another picture of him. There's a
He kind of looks like Chris Brown to me.
Oh, yeah.
what?
Or
Oh,
not-
what happened
not
to
in
his
that
face? Did he get
picture.
shot?
No, he
In that picture, he kind of reminds me of like Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
he didn't get shot. Well, those are tattoos. Plus, he's a
No,
self.
he
No,
looks
it's
like he's got a
scarring.
big scar. on
He's
his
a
head.
self-mutilator.
Oh.
In fact, before his
He's
last
got a good chin.
trial, he severed his own penis. They put it back on. It was like 168 stitches or something.
He bobbited himself?
Yeah.
He must have listened to your German sausage story, your Wiener Schnitzel story.
This is a weird photo of him. They got him snooping around the cameras. Jen, can you imagine waking up to this guy?
No, but I could see myself doing that to a different camera. Like, hey.
Jen on the next Talk Murder video.
And here's one more of this guy. Read some of his tattoos there.
Ooh. I don't get the whole face tattoo thing. I really don't. And I understand you're like expressing like it's a way of expressing yourself but I just don't know why you would want something on your face.
I don't either.
All right. So this is a video. These school kids in Nebraska, literally high schoolers that were in law class, went to the courtroom, and they didn't know he was going to be there in his trial, but they This is their experiences seeing this guy.
Did
This
the
guy's
professor know that he was taking them to this trial? Where he's like, okay, kids, let's go on a field trip.
This is a high-profile case, high-profile criminal, as you're going to see. Very high profile. So it was almost like they got an opportunity of a lifetime. But anyway, this is what they found. And I'll put this video on talkmurder.com for you guys.
Rob and Brandy, one of the big highlights of Jackie Tevis's law studies class out at Millard West High School is a field trip down here to the Douglas County Courthouse to see how the courts really do work. Well, this one turned out to be a lot
it's a
bigger
high school,
and
not even
certainly
a
more
college.
accidental than anyone bargained for.
Oh, God.
And he just straight up barked at us.
Barked at in court
What?
by accused killer Nikko Jenkins, known for his rants. Kelly Smith was there with her Millard West Law Studies class.
I mean, it was a little more creepy that he was making eye contact while he did it.
The most memorable thing for me was the fact that Nikko was representing himself. I thought that was like a very bold decision on his part.
Jack says even
Yeah, he
he
fired
heard
his
Jenkins
lawyers.
making mistakes, and he says the drama was remarkable.
He was just like barking at us, just yelling, and he really wanted to put on a show. Like he really wanted to make sure that like it was all worth it and that he was remembered for the horrible things he's done.
This is really going to piss you off. And you won't really find this if you look at Nikko Jenkins' story. Just type in his name. This is something you don't see.
Nico, Nico?
You know, Nikko.
Oh.
Sorry. Yeah, Nikko. 2.5 weeks before he was released. He knew he was getting released. This 1 day served is 1 day earned bullshit they do in Nebraska.
That is just so freaking weird.
2.5 weeks before he knew he was getting released, he sent this to the circuit judge.
What? Is that
It's
like
a
a note?
letter.
But it's written in the shape of a diamond.
It's written in the shape of the diamond. It's in cursive, and there's no breaks, so the cursive all flows together.
Is it a repetition? What is it?
No, it's basically saying that he is insane. And you're about to read some of it right now.
Oh, no shit.
But you don't even know where to start.
Yeah, where'd you start, at the top or the outside? Did you start in the middle?
Yeah, the middle or the top
Well, someone
left?
had translated it online, so that's what we're using. The
okay.
KETV7 did it. So, but yeah, it's crazy. This is the letter right here, which I tried to find the thing because I want to print it out for my files. It's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool, actually.
2.5 weeks before he was released, he sent this to the circuit judge. And let's take a look at what it says here.
Like a warning, don't release me. This is what's going to happen.
Basically, yeah. The letter rambles on and on about chemistry of the mind and body, biochemicals, formulas, activity of the brain and pituitary glands, surgically implanted devices. And if you want to read this is from KETV 7. This is some of the letter right there, if you want to read it.
Surgically implanted devices mold to the exact size of the vital organs, electromagnetic conductors, and energy.
So this guy probably read this and was like, yeah, he's good to go. Let him out. The reason I'm saying
They
this is
probably
because
didn't
he
read
got
it.
out and he killed 4 people right when he got out. And he sent this to the judge 2 weeks before.
Why write a letter to the judge in the first place?
Because
does he not want to get out?
no, it's not that he didn't want to get out. I think I'm going to go down this road because it's my personal opinion, but a lot of people will probably not agree. I believe he's really mentally ill, and a lot of psychiatrists also validate that when they've, done their test or whatever on him. And this was his plea to the judge that said, hey, I am really messed up in the mind. This is my rambling letter that for whatever reason I'm sending to you 2.5 weeks before I go free. I feel like it was kind of like,
A
are
cry
you
for
sure you
help.
want to let me out? You sure you want to do this? The judge didn't do anything. And now he's got 4 dead people on his hands.
I feel
this
like
is what you don't see in the news, because this is the thing that's pushed way back.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what's put. If you see anyone else doing the story, I guarantee you they won't even mention this.
I feel like the first problem is the legal system on the day served is an extra day counted. Because he would not have been out for another 10 years.
Yeah.
Intellect's brilliance, annoying the alpha of the elites, attacking the Pharaoh king. There we go. There's the hint.
Pretty crazy, isn't it? And he just sent that right to the judge. Here you go. This is the press conference about the arrest.
As always, I want to thank the Omaha media for convening on such short notice for this press conference. The purpose of this press conference is to announce the arrest of 26-year-old Nikko Jenkins on 4 counts of first-degree murder, 4 counts of use of a weapon to commit the murders, and 4 counts of felon in possession of a firearm. The homicides are, on August 11th, Jorge Cailla Ruiz
they were in
and
the
Juan
same truck.
Uribe Pena were killed at 17th and F Street. On August 19th, Curtis Bradford was killed near 18th and Clark Street. And on August 21st, Andrea Kruger was killed in the area of 168th and 4th Street.
What was his motive for these? Was it just carjacking? But he was dumping the cars.
Robbery, carjackings. I mean, he's a criminal. Well, I'm going to show you what his real motivation was here in a second.
Oh, okay.
But so he was serving his prison time initially for terroristic threats. And his sister, Melanie Jenkins, actually went to a witness, told her to drop the case or, quote, someone would hurt her family. And, quote, people who ride and die with Nikko will come after her. So, and so what I'm trying to say is the whole family has served prison time a lot. This is Nikko Jenkins' extended family that's wreaked havoc on Omaha for generations.
Ooh.
It reminds me of the Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia.
Yeah, it does.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's crazy.
That's quite the family tree.
It's crazy. I have a document that somebody put together. It goes back over 100 years, and they were trying to figure out, because the Jenkins name is very well known for the wrong reasons in Nebraska. And like the first Jenkins, his name wasn't even Jenkins. I don't know what it was, but he was like the great-great-great-great-grandfather.
Oh my God.
He was like a public servant, and he was bridging the gap between us and the Indians, like the Seal Indians, and he was like a good dude. Then his son was like this boxer, this fighting boxer, and he was getting in sort of trouble, and then it just like explodes, and it's just like felony. Like, dude, let me show you this shit. It's fucking crazy. Like, this is the current generation right here, like, of the felony charges.
Oh my goodness.
Felon.
You know what this reminds me of? Like, this is the middle line here is Nikko Jenkins. So that's Nikko Jenkins. So there's like the newer generations, probably like 12 and 13. It reminds me of one of those basketball like things that you do at work.
Drafts?
The drafts where you like bet on it. So like I was like, well, maybe we should bet on which one of these these down here would have felonies. Because let's be honest,
based on the odds, it's looking like possibly all. I don't know.
I mean, it's pretty bad, dude. I mean, this family is not the best.
You can turn things around, guys. You can turn it around. Just starts with you.
Yeah.
Starts with you.
Here, if you want to read this is from the World Herald.
A World Herald examination of the Levering history shows that 38 descendants of Levi Levering have been convicted of 633 crimes in Omaha since 1979.
Holy shit.
Wow.
That's a lot of do-batting.
Those cases have cost taxpayers at least $2.8 million in prison and jail costs, mention or not counting the price tag of law enforcement, juvenile cases, prosecution, or public defense. Family members have been involved in at least 150 other cases during that period that ended in acquittals, mistrials, and dropped charges. That family is notorious, said William Gallup, a defense attorney who represented some of Nikko Jenkins' relatives.
Wow. I cannot wait to see what those bottom line on that draft sheet.
Maybe they'll turn it around.
Are you high?
Hey, it's
One can
possible.
hope. One can
I'm
hope.
going to be honest here. What? You might want to keep an eye on the rest of the family, dude.
That
You know, I don't want to
sucks.
be like Minority Report, but holy shit, man. Holy
That
shit.
sucks.
So the Leverings, that's his side of the family too. That remember his uncle, his name
That's
was
right,
Levering.
Levering.
Yes.
Yeah, and his great, the boxer uncle was Levi Levering.
Levi,
It's so
Yeah.
crazy because if you go back to 1890, you have the grandfather, the great-great-great-great-grandfather as a peacekeeper. And he was like running for Congress, and he was.
Wow.
They had him. They had it. You
How
can
the
go back
mighty
into
have
like the
fallen.
newspaper archives, and I went back a little bit, and you can see like, oh, today, Mr. Leverings goes and meets with the chief Indian of the Seal tribe. Seal, I can't spell it.
Sale?
Seal, whatever tribe, and he tries to make peace with all these people, and then you got his descendant here, freaking nut.
That ain't good.
Yeah.
A few Leverings have avoided crime altogether, but they say it has been difficult. See, there you go.
Yeah.
One of Nico's cousins, Alicia Levering Watkins, runs an ambulance business in Texas. She moved there to get away from the Levering name, which she calls tainted.
She moved there to get away from her family name.
Yeah, you got to at that point.
Tainted name.
All we ever saw growing up was stealing and drinking, she said. I don't know how much of a chance the kids in my family have unless someone gives those children a loving home and shows them a different way. My side of the family is nothing but alcoholics, crackheads, and drunks, Nico's mother, Lori Jenkins, said recently. It's sad. Family members have committed 78 alcohol-related crimes and an additional 34 drug crimes since 1979.
That's just the alcohol and drug crimes, not talking about armed robbery. That's just for alcohol and drugs.
And just about every adult in the family has attended an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, Martinez said. She's seen family members wake up at 5 a.m. and crack open a beer. I'm like, you're not even brushing your teeth. What are you doing? She said.
Wait, is that gin?
What am I doing with my life?
You gotta brush your teeth.
I brush my teeth twice a day.
Oh, Jesus.
That's such a great quote.
Yeah. All right, here's a little video. I can't remember what this is. Hopefully it doesn't surprise me.
If you do what I tell you to do, if you follow my demands, then I'll make sure you're safe and make sure you're okay.
Nico claims to have heard these voices since he
Just
was
listen.
a child, and it continued through his teenage and adult years. And prior to his July release from prison, Nico asked for mental help. His wife did too.
I told them not to let him out. I said he's not ready to come out in society.
But Nico's wife says the system failed him by not giving him that treatment. Weeks later, prosecutors
not
say he went on a
disagree.
killing spree, murdering 4 people.
I feel sorry for the victims. I feel sorry for all 4 of them. I feel sorry for people who got hurt by Nico.
Now Nico awaits another mental evaluation to determine if he's even competent to stand trial. Right now, he's not.
Did he eventually stand trial?
Yeah, he did. And yeah, I'll go ahead and say that now. So it was very close whether he was going to walk free or not. Because
Canada.
no, because you're about to see why. But there's something very interesting about this case. Is the reason I really wanted to do it, and we're about to go over there now. Did you remember when she was talking about he's hearing voices since he was 3 years old or whatever? Okay, it's not like random voices or is that God or whatever. It's a very specific voice.
Is it his own voice?
It's not his own voice. And I did a little research on the history, so bear with me.
I feel like you're about to say it's like Elmo's voice.
I may be a little off on some things,
Big
but Anyway, I am not a Egyptologist. The voice is of apotheosis.
All right, didn't see that coming. I guess we should have with the hint.
All right, before I talk about who apotheosis is, Dr. Teo Abastusin is an MD and a court-appointed psychiatrist. Says that Nikko is suffering from, quote, schizoaffective disorder, bipolar type, and personality disorders. Is not the only psychiatrist that said literally the same thing independently. Bipolar, schizo, some sort of schizo, either schizoaffective or schizophrenic, and personality, literally the same exact diagnosis. Since a young kid, he has been hearing in a different language. Do you remember the video we watched with the kids going to the high school kids? And he was barking. I don't know if you could hear it, but he was not speaking English.
It's like parcel tongue.
It was, it's like spoken tongues or whatever, speaking in tongues. Apotheosis is an Egyptian god, okay? He tells Nikko Jenkins, since he was a kid, what to do. And when Nikko Jenkins was, I believe, 7 years old, maybe 8 or 9, when he brought his first gun to school.
Oh, geez.
And it's because apotheosis told him to go kill a kid.
Oh my gosh. What is Apotheosis the god of?
Well, I'm going to tell you that. I did a little research on that. The psychiatrist says Apophis, the Egyptian god, tells Jenkins to hurt people in the voices Jenkins hears in his head. Demons talk to him, torment him, tell him to cut himself, that he is the Antichrist, and then remain in solitary confinement with him. All right, so Apotheosis was the ancient Egyptian deity who embodied chaos and was the opponent of light. And I'll put some pictures on talkmurder.com. Basically, he's the snake god.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm a snake.
I should have known you were going to say that. That's great.
His name is also pronounced Apep.
Like Pepto-Bismol?
Yeah, like Apep. Apepto.
Or Salt and Pep? Salt and Pep is here, and we in effect want you to push it back.
He was seen as a giant snake or serpent from the Nile River.
That's
and
terrifying.
He stretched up to 16 yards in length and had a head made of flint.
That sounds really uncomfortable.
So Apotheosis, the god, was thought to live in the underworld, and he was known as the Eater of Souls.
Whoa.
Like a Death Eater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a Dementor.
So you guys remember when I talked about how Nikko Jenkins sliced his penis?
Yes.
Okay.
How could I forget?
So
like a pepperoni.
This is from the Daily Mail, 15th of December, 2019. It says, "Till death row do us part, Texas woman is set to marry serial killer who slit his own penis and tongue."
Like a
snake.
Like a snake?
So his penis, he has two penis heads right now.
No.
So
he slit his penis like a snake's tongue?
Yeah, so he's got
Did he snip?
Yeah, his tongue snipped too.
That's a thing that people do.
Yeah,
I know.
But
He also snipped his penis. Well, that's gotta be weird to pee in a urinal. It's like you won't
I feel
be
like
able
you're
to pee
gonna
straight.
just spray everywhere.
what I'm saying.
Also, I feel like I don't think that would be fun.
And who would want to marry this guy? Her name is Dawn Agrelo. She's 46, and she's planning to marry this guy.
Wasn't he already married? Did he get divorced?
Oh, yeah. I think, you had mentioned he had a wife.
Yeah, I guess they got divorced. I didn't see anything.
Well, that was a good move on her part.
Yeah, agreed.
This is what she looks like. She kind of looks like a
She didn't want to
snake
marry into that
worshiper
family.
too.
Ugh.
Actually, not what I
I
expected.
bet she has some problems.
All I can think of is like a hot dog that you like.
Oh, like when you make it into the little men? Yeah. Oh.
She says, quote, "He's an enigma. He has feelings. He's very sensitive. He's very intelligent. And yes, he's very manipulating."
Well, I mean,
At least she knows?
Yeah, but like she says it like an afterthought.
That's her again.
like he's all these great things, but also he manipulates me.
Her favorite film is Letters from Death Row. So there's a certain type of woman.
There's a fucking sign for you.
Well, there's a certain type of woman that is attracted to inmates and they marry them.
Oh, I have a story for you to cover.
Okay, you're going to request it just like everyone else does.
Jen logs onto the website and submits a request.
I will.
He most likely used a razor to do this, but another headline here. Psychopathic murderer and self-mutilator who sliced his penis to make it look like an Egyptian serpent god needed 27 stitches.
So they stitched it back together so the head of the penis is now one?
Yeah.
One with itself again?
So I'm going to put a lot of Egyptian stuff and snake penises on talkmurder.com, so be sure to go there if you're at work and using the company computer. Here's the interrogation, just a little snippet. At first, he talks about how it wasn't him, it was his cousins, but then he kind of bridges it to, as you'll see, his cousins were doing a sacrifice for his god. It gets weird, okay? Eventually, the truth all comes out, and he does confess to everything.
To say, like, okay, my religion of Kathoni Ashwin, that's the underworld. He was like on the Mummy, the Black Book. So this was them, my little cousins. So when they were in the house with me, that when I got to serve the search warrant,
Right.
this was their ritual of sacrifice.
So, pretty crazy.
Very,
That's obviously
very
why I wanted to
interesting.
do that story. His first defense attorney wanted to throw the whole case out altogether on the terms of mental illness.
But is this before because he ended up representing himself? So did he?
Yeah, so he went through a few lawyers. I mean, a lot of these guys do, but it's just interesting to know. And I feel, and I did see that Andrea, her husband, I don't know if he got it, but they sued the state for like $5.7 million, which I think is way too low. I mean, the state failed you, man.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, this guy sent that rambling letter to a judge 2.5 weeks before they let him free. And then he kills 4 people in rapid succession. I mean, dude, that's just not acceptable on so many levels. And the fact that you don't even see that when you type in his name, that you have to search for that. Like, I had to go way back in the news, and that's the only little snippet I found about this letter. That's a huge thing to me.
Yeah.
He literally was saying, dude, I don't need to be out of prison. Look at me. I'm fucking talking about biochemical transmitters in my head. God, I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah.
Across the times she treated Nikko Jenkins, Dr. Baker consistently found him seriously mentally ill, with consistent diagnoses of psychotic disorder not otherwise specified. She repeatedly documented a list of troubling and consistent symptoms, including hallucinations, delusions, grandiosity, magical thinking, paranoia, impaired reality testing at times, limited insight and judgment, pressured speech, and disorganized ideas. Additionally, Dr. Baker documented bizarre behavior such as drinking his own semen to help his neurotransmitters, exercising naked, drinking urine, and the significant injuries Nikko caused himself by cutting his penis and face, and afterward refusing proper medical treatment.
I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. I mean, drinking no semen,
dry.
Exercising naked. The only thing weird I see about it is refusing proper medical treatment. I mean, all guys drink their own semen.
Ew.
So gross.
That's so gross. Ugh.
No, there was this pill that, so I used to have a friend that used to sell all kinds of sex pills.
Yeah.
And he was telling me.
Was that name Juan Paris?
Yeah, it was Juan Paris, my buddy Juan Paris, who
Cuba?
lived with me for 4 years. He used to sell all these sex pills, and he was telling me that he was selling a lot of these specific sex pills that they come in different flavors.
Oh.
And you take
You mean
them.
they make your semen come in
Yeah,
different flavors?
yeah. So you take, like, let's say you want your millions of babies that taste like watermelon or blueberry. And of course, Juan Paris had to test it. I mean, he didn't want to sell something that he didn't believe in. I'm just kidding.
I don't know if you are.
I don't know if you are either.
I don't think you are. We'll have to ask Juan.
Yeah. Juan Paris.
Did you call me? Here, if you want to read this is about the other 4 victims. So there's 4 victims, guys, on this story. I know we only focus primarily on one. I mean, obviously, I wanted to focus primarily on Nikko Jenkins, and I don't want to make this too long, so.
2 days earlier, Curtis Bradford, 22, of Omaha, was shot to death. His body was found outside a garage at 18th and Clark Streets in North Omaha. On August 11th, the bodies of 29-year-old Jorge Caiga Ruiz and 26-year-old Juan Uribe Pena were found inside a pickup truck near Spring Lake Swimming Pool in southeast Omaha. So he gets life in prison.
No, he is in the death penalty right now.
Oh,
he
good.
was first.
So there is no day counting for that.
No. I do not think they have an execution date. I could not find it anywhere. If you can find it, let me know. Originally, they threw the death penalty off the table because he wasn't competent to stand trial and stuff like that.
Makes
then
sense.
they decided he was, because, dude, what's the alternative of him not being competent to stand trial?
He's in prison for the rest of his life.
Not prison. Well,
Or
yeah,
in an
hopefully
institution.
prison.
Or
Probably
how do
an
they count
institution for fucking.
How do they count life in prison? Do they just call it 30 years and then they'll let you out?
They take your life expectancy and divide it by 2.
There you
Dude,
go.
I don't know, but Nebraska, you got to work on that shit, man, because that is not cool at all.
Yeah, that's problematic. I'm curious what other states have that.
Dude, I don't know. We've been doing this podcast for quite a while, and this is the first one that I've seen. That
You've heard of early releases and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Plenty of
or
times.
good behavior and stuff like that. But it doesn't matter what you do. If you get every day you serve, you get a day back. That is so ridiculous. That ain't making fucking sense.
Nope.
What's the point? There ain't
What's
no
the point of the sentence?
That's so stupid. I think they did it so, inmates will act right. But apparently, doing some research, you literally have to kill 7 people, 7 security or 7 prison wardens to freaking get that off the table. It's given to anyone.
Bizarre.
Anyway, here's the murder victims, and he killed you read that right after he killed Curtis Bradford, he then kills Andrea. I mean, it's a few days. This guy is a ticking time bomb. Luckily, they caught him when they did. He would have racked up 30 people.
Yeah.
He would have went to Walmart and started capping people.
How did they catch him so fast?
Well, they had DNA and stuff in his car, and they
knew him well.
Yeah,
and his
they
family
knew him well. And anyway, so the victims: Curtis Bradford, Jorge Ruiz, Juan Pena, Andrea Kruger. These 2, Jorge and Juan, they were in the same truck, and then Curtis was in his garage. Obviously, Andrea, we talked about earlier. And that's, if you look at her Facebook page, you'll really cry, because her about me on her Facebook says, and I don't want to, I just saw it, but it said something like, "Blessed is my life," or something, or, and then every picture is her of her kids, taking her kids to the dentist or going out with her husband, which they're obviously complete in love. You know what I'm saying? It's just oh my God, dude. Literally.
Sucks.
But anyway, that's the story. Nikko Jenkins is supposedly going to get the death penalty. I'll put some sources and photos on talkmurder.com. That's it. That's Nikko Jenkins. Pretty crazy story there.
Yeah.
If you guys, if this is your first episode, we put episodes out on Tuesdays and Fridays. And my name is John. I'm here with Jen and Nicole. And until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely, lovely people.